Hey guys, so you guys are in for a treat because I'm making this video in response to this. I think it was a lady who posted a comment. You know what? Dave does black jokes too. You don't know anything about Dave's material. He does black jokes too, which is her way of saying he does racist black jokes too, on the same level as he does to everybody. Now, this video isn't actually just about Dave Chappelle. It's about all the comedians, directors, writers in particular, studio heads, all of Hollywood in general. You motherfuckers, every last one of you selectively racist motherfuckers, all right? Selectively racist as fuck, and the word is selective. Selective, because you're selecting who you're gonna be racist towards, etc., etc. All right? All right, let me give you like a background of how Hollywood does it, because I'm gonna know how about racism, racist skits, racist material, race-based material, okay? Let's break it down. There is a difference between racial stuff and racist stuff. Racist stuff is negative, all right? Racial stuff is just race-related. There's also a difference between positive stereotypes, negative stereotypes, and neutral stereotypes, all right? There's a difference. They don't weigh the same, all right? People like positive stereotypes. People like neutral stereotypes, they'll laugh at. It's not racist, it's not negative. Negative stereotype is where the real shit is. Negative stereotype is where the real racist, hit you in the gut racist shit is, and you know what it is. So here's how comedians like Dave Chappelle, here's how comedians like Jerry Seinfeld, you know, the Seinfeld show, Jerry Seinfeld, here's how other comedians do it that do this race-based shit, because they're hypocrites, selectively racist, all right? Here's how they do it. So they'll do racial material. They'll do racial material on certain groups that they don't want to be racist against. Certain groups that they will treat with soft hands, all right? Like their own group, okay? If you know, whatever the race is, their own group. Dave is black, so he'll do positive racial jokes. He'll towards blacks and Jews, because he knows where the line is. He knows where the line is. He'll do positive, neutral, racial jokes, not racist jokes. Because if you were to do any kind of racist jokes, and there are racist jokes that you could say are funny, but they're just really below the belt. All right? Okay, that's how Hollywood does it in general. Writers, producers, directors, etc., etc. They'll do racial jokes on groups that they know that they're gonna get a lot of backlash on. But with other groups, they'll do racist jokes. They'll do negative, racist, you know it's racist as fuck, non-PC, racist jokes. All right? And how they do it, and the Family Guy, if you guys ever watch that show, the Family Guy does this quite a bit. They do racial jokes on blacks. They do racial jokes on Jews. Positive stereotype racial jokes. Neutral stereotype racial jokes on blacks and Jews, the protected groups in this country. But when it comes to Latinos, Latino Americans, when it comes to Asian Americans, Muslim Americans, I'm not quite sure, because they don't want to get killed doing it. All right, I don't see too many really racist jokes, stereotypical negative racist jokes against Muslim Americans. That's another group that these guys will avoid, because I've seen this show on CBS where they were doing a show on Muslims, but instead of having a group of Muslims, I swear to you, I was at the gym watching this show, because I don't actually watch TV that much. I don't watch the movies that much because of all the BS bullshit propaganda that I see. I swear to you, they put a bunch of Asian Muslims. That's who they were against, a bunch of Asian Muslims. They were like in some country or whatever. I know they're Asian Muslims, like Asian Muslim. I understand that they exist, But you know who the real Muslims are that are doing these bombings and shit like that. You know who they are. Same thing with the Latinos. I've been seeing lately that a lot of the Latinos that they portray are really, most of them have like these lower blue collar class jobs. They're gangbangers, all that shit. I mean, I know they exist, but let's be serious. Which group actually go out of their way to brag about bang ganging? Who's in a gang? Who's that? You know, the blacks, the whole rapping hip hop shit. You know, but they don't actually go there that much anymore, unless they show them positively. But I'm actually going off track right now. I'm going off track right now with this. All right, let me just get back on track with this. All right, so they'll do a bunch of racial jokes, positive and negative, you know, with certain groups, blacks and Jews. You know, have you seen the Jerry Seinfeld show? Seinfeld, he does a lot of that shit. All right, you don't actually ever see any kind of really negative, mean-spirited, racist, negative jokes about blacks or about Jews. All right, he don't make jokes about, you know, that black IQ is like 70 on average. You know, don't make jokes about that. You know, he don't make jokes about, you know what, 50% of the black female population got herpes. Hey, don't hate me for saying it. You can YouTube that. All right, I personally think black women are sexy, or as sexy as any other woman. But look, the truth is the truth. Don't hate me for putting that out. All right, I don't even know why that's not like a thing in the mainstream, considering it's a huge thing. I'm going off course right now. All right, don't hate me for that. All right, like I think black women are as sexy as anybody else, but this is the shit that exists in the media these days. All right, as far as for the last 20 years, as a whole, what they do is they'll do racial jokes that are positive and negative towards certain groups, and then they'll do racist, mean-spirited, below the belt, negative jokes against other groups. You know, gays, women, these comedians who think they're like, you know, mavericks or whatever it is. They're like, they think they're pushing boundaries when they're not. They're not pushing boundaries. Ask Sarah Silverman that. You know, she thought she was badass pushing boundaries. She goes and says the words, you know, she's really racist towards other groups when it comes to jokes, really negative racist shit towards certain groups. But when she does that blackface, all these small snowflakes came out and say you can't do that. The corporations, the studio heads will blacklist her because she did that, and she apologized. Bitch, if you're gonna apologize for that shit, you seriously need to apologize for all the other shit that you freaking, you know, all the other racist shit that you've done with your material with other groups. All right, there. Look. This whole thing where certain groups are getting positive treatment, are getting, you know, positive treatment versus over other groups. This gotta stop. This gotta stop. Okay, it's been happening for the last 20 years. People should have said shit about it, drawn the line 20 years ago with this shit. I've noticed this happening since the late 1990s, and it just got worse over the years. All right, because the material that you're doing, hey, it's not harmless. They're not just jokes. They know this. It's not just jokes. You're sending out a message. You're low-key conditioning people. You know, this is how you treat one group. This is how you treat other groups. And they're doing it because these people are freaking robots. Most of society are freaking robots, all right? All right? This is social programming. They're not jokes. That's why people are pissed off at this. That's why you got the NAACP office in Hollywood. That's why you got the ADL going after all these people with every little single transgression. The most minor transgression they go after. That's why GLAAD, women's rights groups, all these groups, even the Christian Catholic groups, they know that it is harmful. They know that this information is toxic. They know that it's harmful. They know that this information is toxic. That's why they've woken up to it. All right, you can't have You can't free float your image. You can't free float your image, like letting them just do whatever they want with your image. And then when it comes to other groups, you gotta treat it with respect, because the indignity that occurs as a result of that in society, you know, this is an absolute negative thing towards your group if you allow them to do that. If you allow Dave Chappelle to get away with this, you're pretty much allowing him to say, fuck you, fuck your interests, fuck your group. I could be racist any way I want towards you, but you gotta treat me with respect. All right, it gets filtered down. It gets filtered down to the masses. All right, it's not entertainment. It's not jokes. It's not jokes because it wasn't entertainment or jokes to you, to black people. It wasn't jokes or entertainment, just jokes or entertainment to Jews. They got the ADL. They got their soldiers, their army, the cultural soldiers, the cultural army, in the form of civil rights groups. All right, it's a race war. They got their soldiers in the form of civil rights groups to go after you if you say anything, do anything negative towards them. But they feel like they have the right to do anything towards you, and then they'll low-key hide that racist shit with this whole stereotype thing, positive, negative, you know, positive, negative stereotype, racial versus racist. They'll group that. They'll make an excuse for their racism. Group that. Hey, look, we're being racist towards them too, so why aren't you complaining? But you're not being racist towards them too. You're not. All right. Okay, if it's positive racism, it's not really racism. All right, positive racism. No, if it's positive stereotypes. Positive stereotypes really isn't racism. People like positive stereotypes. All right, it's not racist. If it's neutral stereotypes, it doesn't do anything negative towards, you know, it doesn't have a negative effect towards the population. People just laugh at it. Negative stereotypes is where it's at. Negative stereotype is what people don't want, is what groups don't want. But these guys, like the Family Guy, these people like the Family Guy does that on every single one of their shows. And they make that excuse as we're being racist towards everybody else. And these people, these dumb ass fuckers who watch this show, all right, you know, they can't delineate this shit. All right, they can't delineate this shit, but in their heads, they're being conditioned for it. All right, because I've posted stuff on Family Guy videos. Like, why the fuck are they going absolutely lowball racist towards Latinos on the show, on that cartoon show, Asian Americans on that show, even gays, but you know, with other characters like black characters and Jew characters on that show, you know, it's lighthearted racism. It's like lighthearted. It's not even racism. Lighthearted racial shit that everybody laughs at. That's why you guys aren't protesting the Family Guy. That's why black people aren't protesting the Family Guy. That's why the ADL isn't protesting the Family Guy. But you other guys, Latino Americans, Jewish, you know, Latino Americans, Asian Americans, you know, gay Americans, women, you guys should protest the Family Guys because they're doing all those negative racial shit on you. And believe me, it has an absolute negative effect on you in a social environment. All right, I see it every single day. All right, so that's all I gotta say about that. To all you fucking morons, and there are a ton of you fucking morons out there who keep on posting this shit like you don't know any better. You know better. But you guys are gonna do it anyway because it ain't negative towards you. All right, you ain't getting any kind of negative flack over it. So you guys will do whatever the fuck you guys think you guys can get away with. That's Hollywood. That's society in general these days. All right, people don't be respecting everybody these days. They want to respect who they want to respect, and everybody else, they'll say fuck you. But that doesn't work anymore. I'm sorry. That ain't gonna work anymore. That ain't gonna cut it. All right, it ain't two's a crowd, three's a party. Wait, no, it ain't two's a party, three's a crowd anymore. All right, there's about I don't know. There's about like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 other groups out there wanting theirs. All right, you ain't gonna get that whole piece of the pie and eat it too. All right, you're gonna have to cut that shit up. Y'all gonna have to cut that shit up. I don't give a fuck how that happens, but you're gonna have to cut that shit up. Don't give a fuck how you guys feel about that shit. Certain groups over the last 20 years got a bashing. Got a fucking bashing over the last 20 years. And certain groups got theirs. Got their piece of the freaking pie, even half of that shit, without doing anything but changing, but just bitching about how the media treats them and wanting to treat better and stuff like that. Well, you know what? You know what? If getting good treatment from the media was good enough for you, it should be good enough for everybody else. And all you guys bitching, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck Hollywood. Fuck the media. Fuck the selectively racist motherfuckers and that whole entire industry. All right, me personally, I think that whole industry should be burned down to the ground. All right, it should be just leveled, and then start over where they have a quota system. All right, a quota system for everybody else that they don't include. All right, Hollywood is wrong. Been wrong for a long while. Everybody knows it. Been wrong for a long while. Everybody knows it. But certain groups who had an issue with it, did the whole civil rights thing, got theirs. Now they don't want anybody else to get theirs. That's the problem. That's been the problem. All right. So all you bitches out there calling everybody snowflakes, calling everybody this, calling everybody that, fuck you. Yo, just shut your ass up. Nobody wants to hear from you. All right, because you guys are selective as fuck about your shit. Okay, that's your issue. That's your issue. That's nobody else's issue. That's your problem. If you don't like it, fuck off, because it ain't about you anymore. It ain't about any of you fuckers anymore. All right, fuck off.